Hey everybody, I'm gonna keep trucking away at some of these videos from our lessons or from our classes on Wednesday. This will be the first one really. We didn't actually get to the scale that I put up, so I might give that another name. That might be in class 3, but I'll rename it when we actually have a place for it. But for now it'll be in week 2, I think. Anyways, well, the first thing we started with was a little bit of a nonsense scale, and I'll say a couple more things about those. I think we did one in 4th position. It doesn't really matter which position you're in, but 4th position again means first finger on the 4th fret, and that's where it stays for the most part. On these it will. The next fret, the 5th fret, will be middle finger. Next fret, the ring finger, would be the 6th fret, and the 7th fret would be covered by the pinky finger. And so we just did 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 fingers. Oh, somebody's living by the dump or something. Yeah, so we just did 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we switch. So again, when you're doing a nonsense scale, just remember to start, even or experienced players will have to start it slow just to kind of program it into our brains and bodies. So this here seems not very loud. It seems very not loud. I don't understand that. But so we started out slow. I might even go in between each of those and go down, up, down. Let them ring as long as you possibly can before switching to the next note. And ideally, you're prepping for the next note already when you're at the current one. That's kind of a good way to tell if your body's used to it or not. Yeah, this might be a little too much, but and you'd go down. I'm gonna pause it there. Go down, get it to where you're like, okay, I think I've got this a little bit programmed. And then if you're fast, you can take that tempo up to like 110. That was 100. You can take it up to 120, 130, whatever. But I'm going to double it. So it'll be, when you're running through these, for me, I'll double it for this video. And it would be 1 and 2 and ready and go. And keep running up and down, okay? And you do that for, you can run like 10 times for a couple minutes or whatever. That's always a good kind of exercise to do. One other thing you can do is, what we were noticing in the class was that was a little too fast on the fingers for most people, but some of you could strum a little faster. So one of the things you can do with those to keep it challenging but attainable is to meet yourself where you're at with your strum and with your fingers. So if you're a little bit faster with the strum, but your fingers need a little bit extra time, double stroke it. So instead of going down, up, and every single one's a different fingering, you can double up. So it'd be like down, up, 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 down, up. This is giving your fingers still the amount of time that's comfortable, but the pick is, well, I can't really do that and say it at the same time, but the pick is working a little bit more faster, and then you might be more challenged by that. One thing I will say about these nonsense scales, I don't know if I'm going to keep going with these in further videos. We might just do them in classes like warm-ups. But one thing you could really do is you can get as far into these as you want. So that was using all 4 fingers. And again, when we start actually doing major scales, most of the time you're only going to be doing 3 per string, and then sometimes 2, sometimes it's a 1-3, sometimes it's a 2-4. So you're not going to be using all 4 fingers. So it is good on the nonsense scales to be able to use all of them. You're kind of doing a little bit more than you normally would, and you can do things in weirder patterns than you normally would see in a major scale, and that's just good. Overtraining is good. But you can always kind of get a little weird with these, like just kind of keep in mind what habits you're doing. So all the ones we've done so far are a 4-stroke pattern on each string. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. So if you notice with that, you're always switching strings on a downstroke. So you could actually work on that the opposite way by doing the exact same thing. And you could go upstroke first. That would be a wild one. So you could go same pattern. That is weird. Yeah, a little strange. Another thing you can do, that was the same pattern, but one thing you can do is just to do a different number. Like you can do 3. You could do like a 2, 3, 4 or a 2, 4, 3, and that way you're actually, the first time you hit your down, up, down, and then the next string on your string switch, you're switching on an up, and then you're going to be up, down, up, and then you're switching on a down. So it actually, every string trades off being switched on a down or an up, if that makes sense. So that's actually really helpful stuff. Most of your scales are going to be 3-finger groups, so that it kind of makes you do that anyway. So that's a good thing to do. I won't get a metronome on this, but you could do like 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. That already feels weird. That wasn't perfect either, but that's a good way to do it. And so you can kind of like, those are just different ways for you to get comfortable with where your pick is at on the string. And actually, I think that's always really good practice too, because it keeps you, and I think I said this in class, but I like these 3 fingers being out most of the time. Like that really is the best technique, because if you're flat picking, like what a scale is, then you can kind of have, if you're just out in free space, I just feel like I can't always feel where I am on the strings. I kind of feel like I'm shooting in the dark. Whereas if I have my pinky kind of habitually in that same spot on the top of the guitar, then I kind of always feel like I know where I am. And so that might be something to keep in mind anyway as well. Again, the good thing about nonsense scales is there's 0 knowledge base to entry. You don't have to know anything, any scales, and you're already working on keeping that finger or that thumb in the back of the neck, good up, down, constant metronome. Your down, up is always your metronome. It's just good practice all the way around. So valuable, I think, especially if you're going to be trying to do a lot of speed exercises. So that was that one from Wednesday. I'll move on to something else.